The leaders, the shakers, the game changers, the millennial movers.
St. John's, Newfoundland and Labrador. In a city like this with bar names like O'Reilly's, Shamrock City, and Aaron's Pub, you get a sense of what the traditional music scene is here. But it's not all about those traditional stereotypes. Millennial movers met up with Winnie Churchill and Carter Music, two emerging artists, to talk about Winnie's first album, I, a fusion of R&B, soul, and hip-hop, and to talk about their creative journey together.
Me.
Okay. I'm Carter Music. I am the producer. And?
I'm Winnie Churchill, vocalist, artist, writer. A lot of it has to do with like how you stand up for yourself. That's how it starts, you know. I read something the other night. Actually, it was there's two important days in your life: the day you were born, and then the day you realize you were born. And once you realize exactly what you're here for, you know, you can begin your life with who you are, as opposed to what people conceive of you, or what your friends think of you, what your parents think you should do. You know, it's about starting with I, and hopefully that message was put out there so that people now have a bit of confidence in what they're doing and who they are, and they can start with themselves, as opposed to being fogged and not knowing where to go next in their plans.
For me, it was like, I've done music my whole life, but I like really took it really serious. Like, I've always taken it serious, but I like kind of found the I probably like a year or two ago, you know, and I just kind of was like, I need to just stop spreading myself too thin and kind of just focus on music and commit to it and get my life together so I can then further do these things and work on stuff with him and, you know, like help people.
When I was 10 years old, I started writing everything. Just mad at my math teacher, like, I hate my math teacher. And I try, and but I have to be here. And then next, you know, it was just words initially. And then something happened and started to like rhyme and ended up doing like some freestyle battles and stuff like that. It was the weirdest transition ever, but then I realized that you can spread a story with it and you can write a story. And I figured out how many people hate their math teachers. I was like, cool, let me show everybody this thing. And next, you know, you become a voice. That's kind of where that originated for me, is just writing everything down. And next, you know, happened to be something that I wanted to show people, and that was it. And then collectively, 2 years ago, like myself, you know, when we linked up, we were doing a bunch of different things. We were all doing a bunch of different things, and stop spreading ourselves so thin. Let's focus on this thing right now.
Everyone in my family plays some form of music, or has, so that kind of started me there. I grew up in bands and stuff, and I did that through all of junior high and the half of high school, and then my drum teacher kind of looked at me and was like, hey man, like, you can keep beat, like, you can probably like play songs in a concise order. And he's like, why don't you rent a PA and go make a few bucks at your school? And I was like, you know, it's better than hiring the old man that they got doing it normally. And I was like, yeah, absolutely. So I did that, and then I was like, yeah, these songs, pop songs, are pretty cool. Like, there's a lot more to it, and the stuff I liked in the music I was listening to at that time, I was finding in everything then, hip hop and slow songs and Mariana's Trench and all that crap. You know what I mean? Like, it's just kind of found it there, and I was like, this is awesome. And then, yeah, just DJing's a whole nother look on music, you know? If you play one instrument, like, everyone's vocalists are very personal about their vocal stuff, and guitarists are very obsessive over this, but once you get into DJing, you're kind of dealing with the whole thing, so it's like, it's a really unique perspective. But once I kind of realized that, and DJing kind of brought everything full circle for me, and then I was like, I need to produce and work on those things, and that's kind of what led me up onto that I moment.
I started dancing when I was like, my sister was in ballet. My mother used to dance nonstop as well, and dancing switched for me. So it went from writing to dancing, and once I started to learn how to perform through dance, I realized that like there's another form of transferable. It's all transferable. So dancing started to project this performing thing on me, and then sliding them together, and it was a massive amount of emotion being projected just using my body or my voice. Or that's when it all switched for me. I was like, damn, it's time. It's time to move this, you know, and do something with it. Like we were talking about briefly earlier, like, we're young now, you know. We're all gonna have to settle down at some point, so might as well do something right now.
Yeah,
no, I've seen you on the dance floor, so it all makes sense.
Yeah.
You got the moves, man.
I don't remember this. I don't remember
Me
that.
neither.
No,
It's
no.
blurry,
Yeah,
it's
it's all
Vague
foggy.
memories,
It's
yeah.
all foggy.
The album might be called I, but without a strong group of talented local collaborators, there would be no I.
Like music, like good music is all collaborative. You know, a lot of people are under this impression that like if you're an artist, that's the only thing you need. Like, you know what I mean? And it's the songs that you're listening to on a day-to-day basis. If you're listening to any artist, you name them nowadays, I can guarantee you there's like 12 writers on the song. There was 4 people behind the music. Some of the vocal stuff wasn't the artist that you're actually listening to, you know? So knowing some people in the industry, I know how much a song is written before it's even put out and how many people went through the song before it was even put out. So collaborating with people locally was huge for us. Of course, because we're in St. John's, we're in Newfoundland. Like, we want to put Newfoundland on a map as well. So it's a lot of talented people here, you know, from 4 Courses with Heather Gooseney. It's
Phenomenal.
a voice that it needs to be out there. It needs to be seen. It needs to be heard. And without her on that song, it wouldn't have become the song that it was. She really put, you know, with myself, I can put some emotion there with Carter's capability behind the writing and producing of it, and put some more emotion there with her. She wrote the story. That's a love story between a man and a woman. How can only a man be on that song? You know what I mean?
Very true.
If you can hear the emotion of a woman behind it, right? Tommy White.
Yeah.
You can go ahead. You speak on Tommy.
Yeah, Tommy's just a unique dude. Like, I want to hear more of his stuff myself, you know? Like, he got one song that he has, and I literally play it over and over again. He just has a great voice, and when he was like, yo, I'm going to bring... Because Tommy and Heather are actually the only 2 vocalists on the project, and then the other guys are just, like, session drums, bass, yada, yada. Yeah, he was like, I'm going to bring Tommy in. He's like, I really trust Tommy. I really respect him and like what he does, so I'm going to bring him in. And yeah, and as soon as I heard his stuff, I was just like, whoa, this guy's really good. And he could, like, he fit just so well on the project. Yeah, so him and Heather were just, like, really good people to work with there. Yeah. As far as the other musicians go, we had Jason Howard do some drums, Greg Bruce do some sax, Declan Sevier, Jimmy Nugent doing bass guitar. Mm-hmm. It was just good because me and Winnie work together because we like each other and we respect each other musically. And all those people are people we also respect musically. Like, we both heard Heather and we're like, this girl's amazing. I heard Tommy, my mind was blown. They grew up together kind of thing. Yeah. Jimmy and Jason Howard I had grown up with. We knew Greg through a couple of our mutual friends, probably some of your mutual friends as well, Petty Green and stuff like that. He grew up with Declan as well. So it was just all people who were like good musicians who just need to be heard, and I want to work with and he wanted to work with, and yeah. So why not, you know?
Big cities have always had a magnetic pull for talented and ambitious people. Big cities have their benefits, but small ones do too.
I think we feel probably slightly different about this, you know. Mm-hmm. My take on it is, like, I don't care where I am. I don't. I think that if we put enough work in nowadays, just nowadays, it probably would have been a lot different 5-10 years before. I think location's key. You got to go out there and network yourself up, absolutely. But in terms of music and getting music out there, I think it's just a matter of how strong you are on the internet.
Yeah, absolutely. You can make music anywhere. People make half of our favorite artists and your favorite artists make music in their hotel rooms on the regular, like Grammy-winning albums, or not, maybe not the full album, but you know what I mean. There's been vocals and tracks recorded in hotel rooms that we all definitely love. So it really does not matter, you know. I used to live out in CBS. We've done recording out there. I live in town. We do it downtown now. That's not a thing. It's just like, as long as you're strong in line, and then you can network. So obviously one of the challenges in Newfoundland is networking, which I'm sure we can both agree on. Yeah. But it's like, once you can overcome that, so maybe not like just network with people in Newfoundland, but once you can get out of the island and go a few places, meet a few people, kind of bring some attention back here with you, whatever you're doing, you're fine. As long as you're doing that and you're strong in line, you should be all right.
Motivation is different for everyone. Sometimes it's found by looking to those we respect. Other times it can be found in the creativity itself.
but the main inspiration to everything I do is probably my mother. You know, my mother was a single mother, four kids, one step. That's about real quick. But no, four of us raised us all. My mom passed away when I was 10 years old. You know what I mean? So I never seen anybody grind like that ever in my life. And then Carter, like, we go through everything together at this point. You know, we're brothers, so yeah, hell yeah, we bump heads, but we gotta remember to always come back around. That's what it's about. And that's where my inspiration comes from.
I'm really inspired by my friends, so obviously, like you just said, but it's like I grew up in church too, so there's a lot of music and stuff going on there. At a young age, I got a taste of it. I understood that there were more people like me around who cared about creative endeavors the same way, and just from playing in a group with people and like just you guys, everyone being together for the one purpose, like you just play a song perfectly together, like there's nothing that can replace that feeling. Same thing as like being on a stage and knowing you just did a great job, you feeling good about it, everyone in the audience being like this was a great time, feels they got their time's worth and stuff. Like that's riveting.
People who work in non-traditional roles have always encountered resistance. And for these two guys, there's no exception.
Yes.
Yeah.
A whole lot of that. I mean, you can elaborate on it, but I'm pretty sure everyone gets it, you know? And I'm sure we all got friends who don't feel like, you know, like are down on themselves, feel like they can't do certain stuff. It's probably due to someone close to them telling them they can't do it, you know what I mean? Or being like, don't do that. What are you wasting your time with that for? And it's like, well, I either love it or there's you know what I mean? Like you're doing it for a reason. So I've definitely had it a bunch. Just people questioning you. You're just passively aggressively like, so you're still DJing, huh? It's like, yeah, I am. Love going to work every time I go to work. You know what I mean? It's like, do you? You know, like it's really what it comes down to. But yeah, I know.
You know, to get a little bit hard with it, you gotta surround yourself with wolves. You know, lions, like,
yeah, people
or
are afraid.
lionesses too, of course. But people that are just getting it, hungry to get it. Like if you can't slack in what we're doing. Like you can't take there's no time for time off. There's really not. If we're out partying, it's a celebration thing. If we're not celebration, I'm not supporting him. He DJs. I'm supporting my friends. All our friends are DJs and people, so on and so forth. So there's no time for time off. If you gotta work, for 8 hours, or you better believe you better be in the studio for 10 of them. You know what I mean? After the 8. So yes, you used 18 hours of your day. You got 6 hours of sleep. Yes.
Nothing wrong with that.
Nothing wrong with that. You gotta hit the gym. Well,
if you're under 30, you can do that.
You got 4 years. You got 4 hours of sleep. I don't know what it takes. I'm not sure the math
Almost
of
30.
everybody, but but lions. You know, surround your den with lions, and everybody got to be hungry on the same pace.
Some advice from Winnie and Carter would be, when you find what you love, do it. But be prepared to work your ass off for it.
I guess like what I plan to do with my kids someday is like, what do you want to do? Are you sure you want to do that? All right, we're gonna do everything in our power to get you there and get you there early. You know what I mean? As opposed to focusing on goddamn everything. Sorry for my language, but focusing on everything. You know, that we were taught and using not anything today. You know, even like I don't care what you did. Like even if you went and became an engineer, you didn't use all that stuff that you learned in school to do that. Like you could have been focusing there earlier. I don't care what it is, engineer, artists, producers, skateboarder, whatever. But like you really could have narrowed it down earlier. And I'm not mad about that, because if my life didn't happen the way it did,
you wouldn't be where you are today.
Yeah, we wouldn't be where we are today. So I'm not mad or regret the past. But if I could talk to my like 10-year-old person, my 10-year-old Winnie, like I would have been like, yo, like right there, stay right there. Keep writing right there. You know what I mean?
Absolutely.
Don't stop right there, you know? As opposed to look.
Self-awareness is very huge. And just don't stop. Like, just beeline it. Don't get discouraged. I remember how many times I've, like, been down and been like, oh, I can't be at this anymore. Like, do you know what I mean? But you just got to keep going, persevere. The day you quit is, well, the day you didn't get there. You know what I mean? Like, if you just keep at it, as long as you're actually being self-aware and asking yourself the right questions, you're going to get to where you're going. If I could go speak to a kid in my high school who's, like, obsessed with dead mouse or something, you know what I mean? Like, just a stereotypical thing. It's just, like, I would sit down and tell them that. Like, if this is what you really want, like, you know, you got to evaluate that and you're young, so you don't know. but just try really hard to figure that out. I actually teach DJ lessons, and one of my students, his parents are like unwaveringly supportive, and it's amazing. That's unique. And while the parents, like, they're supportive, but they don't know what to do. You know what I mean? Because they haven't done it before. So to be able to just like help guide someone like that in that way is really awesome.
Thank you so much to Winnie Churchill and Carter Music for appearing on Millennial Movers. Two really positive guys. In a world that can really put you down sometimes, here's something that can pick you up.
Love, don't hate. That's it. That's all. Love, don't hate. You know, we don't see a lot of hate, which is great. We see a lot of love. You know, but this is not even like telling you love, don't hate us. That's not what we're saying. We're saying
Everything.
Just love whatever you're doing in your life. Just love it. You know, find a way to love it. Your people around you, find a way to love them.
Yeah.
Whatever. Don't care what it is. Just love. Don't find hate in yourself. You know, we've all lost friends to some serious mental issues. You know, we've all lost it, and people close to us. And let's find a way to narrow that down and find love within yourself.
Yeah.
Just please, if you're out there and struggling, reach out to me. I talk to hundreds of people all the time, daily. It's a serious amount of people that I talk to, and young people, old people, all that. And they reach out, and I just try to, that's why I got all that positive shit on the go, because it's just like, find something about you that you like. Anything. It could be your right toe. You know, find it.